Genesis 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty, darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. And God said, "Let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water." So God made the vault and separated the water under the vault from the water above it. And it was so. God called the vault sky. And there was evening, and there was morning, the second day. And God said, "Let the water under the sky be gathered to one place, and let dry ground appear." And it was so. God called the dry ground land, and the gathered waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants and trees on the land that bear fruit with seed in it, according to their various kinds." And it was so. The land produced vegetation, plants bearing seed according to their kinds, and trees bearing fruit with seed in it according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the third day. And God said, "Let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times, and days, and years. And let them be lights in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth." And it was so. God made two great lights, the greater light to govern the day and the lesser light to govern the night. He also made the stars. God set them in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth, to govern the day and the night, and to separate light from darkness. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the fourth day. And God said, "Let the water teem with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the vault of the sky." So God created the great creatures of the sea, and every living thing with which the water teems and that moves about in it, according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. God blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and increase in number, and fill the water in the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth." And there was evening, and there was morning, the fifth day. And God said, "Let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, the livestock, the creatures that move along the ground, and the wild animals, each according to its kind." And it was so. God made the wild animals according to their kinds, the livestock according to their kinds, and all the creatures that move along the ground according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." So God created mankind in his own image, in the image of God he created them, male and female he created them. God blessed them and said to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, and over every living creature that moves on the ground." Then God said, "I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, and every tree that has fruit with seed in it. They will be yours for food. And to all the beasts of the earth, and all the birds in the sky, and all the creatures that move along the ground, everything that has the breath of life in it, I give every green plant for food. And it was so. God saw all that he had made, and it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day.
Genesis 2. Thus were the heavens and the earth and all their host completed. Having finished on the seventh day the work that he had done, he rested from his work. He blessed the seventh day and consecrated it, because on that day he rested from all the work of creation. Such is the story of the creation of heaven and earth. In the time that the Lord God made earth and heaven, there was not yet a bush on the earth in the fields, and no herb had yet sprouted in the fields, because the Lord God had not made it rain on the earth, nor was there a man to cultivate it. But a vapor rose from the earth and watered its entire surface. So the Lord God formed man from the clay of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living being. Now the Lord God had planted a garden in Eden on the east side, and put the man he had created in it. Out of the ground the Lord God made to grow every tree that is pleasant to look at, and good for food, and the tree of life in the midst of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. A river came out of Eden to water the garden, and then divided into 4 branches. The name of the first is Physon, and he is the one who goes around the whole region of Havilah, where gold is found. The gold of that region is pure, bdellium and onyx stone are also found there. The name of the second river is Gihon, and it is the one that surrounds the entire region of Cush. The name of the third river is Tigris, which flows east of Assyria. The fourth river is the Euphrates. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work the ground and keep it. He gave him this precept: you may eat the fruit of every tree in the garden, but do not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die. The Lord God said, it is not good for the man to be alone. I will give you a helper suitable for you. So the Lord God had formed out of the ground every beast of the field and every bird of the air, and brought them to the man to see what he would name them. And whatever a man names a living animal, that is its true name. The man gave names to all the animals, to all the birds of the sky, and to all the animals of the field, but there was not found a suitable helper for him. Then the Lord God sent the man into a deep sleep, and while he slept, he took a rib and closed up its place with flesh. And from the rib that he had taken from the man, the Lord God made a woman, and brought her to the man. Behold now, said the man, bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh, she will be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore the man leaves his father and his mother to join his wife, and they are no more than one flesh. The man and the woman were naked, and they were not ashamed. Genesis 3. The serpent was the most subtle of all the animals of the field that the Lord God had formed. She said to the woman, is it true that God has forbidden you to eat the fruit of every tree of the garden? The woman replied, we can eat the fruit of the trees in the garden. 3. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. Oh no! Returned the serpent, you shall not die. But God knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like gods, knowing good and evil. The woman, seeing that the fruit of the tree was good to eat, of pleasant appearance and very appropriate to open the mind, took it, ate, and also presented it to her husband, who ate likewise. Then their eyes were opened, and when they saw that they were naked, they took fig leaves, bound them together, and made girdles for themselves. And behold, they heard the noise of footsteps of the Lord God walking in the garden at the time of the evening breeze. The man and his wife hid themselves from the face of the Lord God among the trees of the garden. But the Lord God called the man and said to him, "Where are you?" And he replied, "I heard the noise of your steps in the garden. I was afraid, because I am naked, and I hid myself." The Lord God said, "Who told you that you were naked? Would you have eaten from the tree that I had forbidden you to eat?" The man replied, "The woman you put beside me presented me with this fruit, and I ate." The Lord God said to the woman, "Why did you do this?" "The serpent deceived me," she replied, "and I ate." Then the Lord God said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, you will be cursed above all animals and beasts of the field. On your belly you will go, and dust you will eat all the days of your life. I will put hatred between you and the woman, between your offspring and hers. It will bruise your head, and you will bruise your heel." He also said to the woman, "I will multiply the sufferings of your childbirth. You will give birth in pain. Your desires will drive you to your husband, and you will be under his dominion." And then he said to the man, "Because you listened to the voice of your wife and ate from the fruit of the tree that I had forbidden you to eat, cursed be the ground because of you. You will take your livelihood from her with toilsome work all the days of your life. One, it will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat the grass of the earth. In the sweat of your face you shall eat your bread, until you return to the ground from which you were taken, for dust you are, and to dust you shall return." Adam named his wife Eve, because she was the mother of all living. The Lord God made for Adam and his wife garments of skins, and clothed them. And the Lord God said, "Behold, the man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. Now therefore, let us see that he does not put out his hand and take also of the fruit of the tree of life, and eat it, and live eternally." The Lord God drove him out of the Garden of Eden, so that he could cultivate the land from which he had been taken. And he cast him out, and placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubim armed with a flaming sword, to guard the way to the tree of life. Genesis 4. Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and gave birth to Cain, and said, "I have got a man with the help of the Lord." And she gave birth to Abel, Cain's brother. Abel became a shepherd and Cain a farmer. After some time, Cain offered fruits of the earth in oblation to the Lord. Abel, on his side, offered of the firstlings of his flock and of their fat, and the Lord looked with favor on Abel and on his offering. But he did not look at Cain, nor at his gifts. Cain was extremely angry at this, and his countenance became downcast. The Lord said to him, "Why are you angry? And why is your countenance downcast? If you do good, without a doubt you will be able to rehabilitate yourself. But if you do wrong, sin will be at your door, watching for you, but you must master it." Cain then said to Abel his brother, "Let us go into the field." As soon as they reached the field, Cain threw himself on his brother and killed him. The Lord said to Cain, "Where is Abel your brother?" Cain replied, "I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?" The Lord said to him, "What have you done?" Behold, the voice of your brother's blood cries out to me from the earth. From now on you will be cursed and driven from the land, which opened its mouth to drink your brother's blood from your hand. When you cultivate it, it will deny you its fruits, and you will be a pilgrim and a wanderer on the earth. Cain said to the Lord, My punishment is too great for me to bear. Behold, now you drive me out of this place, and I must hide myself far from your face, becoming a wandering pilgrim on the earth. The first one to find me will kill me. And the Lord answered him, No. But whoever kills Cain will be punished 7 times. The Lord put a mark on Cain, so that if anyone found him, he would not kill him. Cain left the presence of the Lord, and went to dwell in the region of Nod, east of Eden. Cain knew his wife. She conceived and gave birth to Enoch. And he built a city, which he named after his son Enoch. Henoch begot Irad, Irad begot Madiel, Madiel begot Methuselah, Methuselah begot Lamech. Lamech took 2 women, one named Ada and the other Selah. Ada gave birth to Jabal, who is the father of those who dwell in tents among the flocks. His brother's name was Jubal, who is the father of all those who play the zither and the wind instruments. Selah, on her side, gave birth to Tubal-Cain, the father of all who work in copper and iron. Tubal-Cain's sister was Noamah. Lamech said to his women, Ada and Selah, Hear my voice, women of Lamech, listen to my words. By a wound I killed a man, and by a bruise a boy. If Cain will be avenged 7 times, Lamech will be avenged 77 times. Adam knew his wife again, and she gave birth to a son, whom he named Seth, saying, God gave me a posterity to replace Abel, whom Cain killed. Seth also had a son, who was named Enos. And the name of the Lord began to be invoked from then on. Genesis 5. This is the book of the family history of Adam. When God created man, he made him in the image of God. He created them male and female, and blessed them, and named them man in the day that he created them. Adam lived 130 years, and begot a son in his likeness, in his image, and named him Seth. After having begotten Seth, Adam lived 800 years, and begot sons and daughters. All the time that Adam lived was 930 years. And after that he died. Seth lived 105 years, and then spawned Enos. And after the birth of Enos, he lived 807 years, and begot sons and daughters. The total duration of Seth's life was 912 years, and after that he died. Enos lived 90 years, and then begot Cainan. And after the birth of Cainan, Enos lived 815 years, and begot sons and daughters. And the lifespan of Enos was 905 years, and he died. Cainan lived 70 years, and then begot Mahalaleel. After the birth of Mahalaleel, Cainan lived 840 years, and begot sons and daughters. All the time of Sinon's life was 910 years, and he died. Mahalaleel lived 65 years, and then begot Jared. After the birth of Jared, Mahalaleel lived 830 years, and begot sons and daughters. All the time of Mahalaleel's life was 895 years, and he died. Jared lived 162 years, and begot Enoch. After the birth of Enoch, Jared lived 800 years, and begot sons and daughters. All the time of Jared's life was 962 years, and he died. Enoch lived 65 years and begot Methuselah. After the birth of Methuselah, Enoch walked with God for 300 years and begot sons and daughters. The total duration of Enoch's life was 365 years. Enoch walked with God and disappeared, because God took him. Methuselah lived 187 years, and begot Lamech. After the birth of Lamech, Methuselah lived 782 years, and begot sons and daughters. Methuselah's entire lifespan was 969 years, and he died. Lamech lived 182 years, and had a son, whom he named Noah, saying, "This one will bring relief to us in our toil and in the toil of our hands, out of the land which the Lord cursed." After the birth of Noah, Lamech lived 595 years, and begot sons and daughters. The total duration of Lamech's life was 777 years, and he died. At the age of 500 years, Noah begot Shem, Cam, and Japheth. Genesis 6. When men began to multiply on the earth, and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were beautiful, and they chose wives from among them. The Lord then said, "My spirit will not always remain in man, because he is all flesh, and the duration of his life will be 120 years. At that time giants lived on the earth, as also from then on, when the sons of God were united with the daughters of men, and they bore children. These are the heroes, so famous in ancient times. The Lord saw that the wickedness of men was great in the earth, and that all the thoughts of their hearts were continually turned towards evil. The Lord regretted having created man on earth, and his heart was wounded with intimate pain. And he said, I will destroy man whom I created from the surface of the earth, and with him the animals, the creeping things, and the birds of the air, because I regret having created them. Noah, however, found grace in the eyes of the Lord. This is the story of Noah. Noah was a just and perfect man among the men of his generation. He walked with God. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Cam, and Japheth. The earth was corrupt before God and filled with violence. God looked at the earth and saw that it was corrupt. Every creature on earth followed the path of corruption. Then God said to Noah, Behold, the end of every creature has come before me, for they have filled the earth with violence. I will wipe them out along with the land. Make yourself an ark of resinous wood. You will divide it into compartments and grease it with bitumen inside and outside. And this is how you shall make it. Its length shall be 300 cubits, its width 50 cubits, and its height 30. You shall make an opening the size of a cubit at the top of the ark. You shall put the door of the ark on one side, and you shall build 3 stories of rooms. Behold, I will bring down a flood upon the earth, a flood that will destroy every being that has the breath of life under heaven. Everything on earth will die. But I will make a covenant with you. You will enter the ark with your children, your wife, and the wives of your children. Of all that lives, of every kind of animal, you shall bring into the ark 2, male and female, that they may live with you. Of every kind of bird, and of every kind of quadruped, and of every kind of animal that creeps on the earth, a couple will enter with you, so that you can preserve their life. You shall also take with you of all things to eat, and you shall store them up so that they may serve as food for you and for the animals. Noah obeyed, and did all that the Lord had commanded him. Genesis 7. The Lord said to Noah, "Enter the ark, you and all your house, for I have recognized you as righteous in my eyes among your generation. Of every clean animal you shall take 7 couples, male and female, and of every unclean animal you shall take a couple, male and female. Of the birds of the sky also 7 pairs, males and females, so that the breed is preserved alive on the face of all the earth. Within 7 days I will make it rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights, and I will exterminate from the surface of the earth every creature that I have made." Noah did all that the Lord had commanded him. Noah was 600 years old when the flood came on the earth. To escape the flood, he entered the ark with his children, his wife, and his children's wives. Clean and unclean animals, birds, and everything that creeps on the earth. They entered Noah's ark, a male and female couple, as the Lord had commanded Noah. After the 7 days, the waters of the deluge rushed over the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, on the 17th day of the month, on that day all the fountains of the great deep burst open, and the walls of the heavens were opened. The rain fell on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. That same day Noah entered the ark, with Shem, Ham, and Japheth, his sons, his wife, and his 3 sons' wives. And with them the wild animals of every kind, the domestic animals of every kind, the reptiles of every kind that creep on the earth, and everything that flies, of every kind, all birds and everything that has wings. Of each species that has the breath of life, a couple entered Noah's ark. They arrived, male and female, of every kind, as God had commanded Noah. And the Lord shut the door behind him. The flood fell on the earth for 40 days. The waters swelled and lifted the ark, which was raised above the earth. The waters flooded everything with violence, and covered the whole earth, and the ark floated on the surface of the waters. The waters swelled wonderfully over the earth, and covered all the high mountains that are under the heavens. And they rose 15 cubits above the mountains which they covered. All creatures that moved on the earth were exterminated, birds, domestic animals, wild beasts, and everything that creeps on the earth, and all men. Everything that breathes and has a breath of life on the earth perished. Thus were exterminated all beings that were on the face of the earth, from men to quadrupeds, both reptiles and birds of the sky. Everything was exterminated from the earth. Only Noah was left, and what was with him in the ark. The waters covered the earth for 150 days. Genesis 8. Now God remembered Noah, and all the wild animals, and all the domestic animals that were with him in the ark. He caused a wind to blow over the earth, and the waters subsided. The fountains of the abyss are closed, as well as the barriers of the heavens, and the rains are withheld. The waters consequently withdrew from the earth and waited for it to subside after 150 days. In the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, the ark stopped over the mountains of Ararat. Meanwhile, the waters would know little by little the 10th month, and in the 10th month, on the 1st day of the month, the tops of the mountains appeared. At the end of 40 days, Noah opened the window he had made in the ark, and let out a raven, which went out and flew to and fro until dry land appeared. He also released a dove, to see if the waters had already diminished from the face of the earth. The dove, however, not finding where to land, returned to him in the ark, because there was still water on the face of the earth. Noah stretched out his hand, and having taken it, he received it into the ark. He waited another 7 days, and again released the dove out of the ark. And behold, in the evening she returned, carrying a green olive leaf in her beak. So Noah understood that the waters had receded over the earth. He waited another 7 days, and released the dove, which this time did not return. In the 601st year, in the first month, on the first day of the month, the waters were dried up over the earth. Noah uncovered the roof of the ark, looked and saw that the surface of the ground was dry. In the second month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth was dry. Then God spoke to Noah, "Go out of the ark, with your wife, your children, and your children's wives. Also bring out with you all the animals that are with you of all kinds, birds, quadrupeds, various reptiles that drag on the earth, bring them out with you so that they may spread over the earth and that they may grow and multiply over the earth." Noah went out with his sons, his wife, and the wives of his sons. All the wild animals, all the reptiles, all the birds, all the creatures that move on the earth came out of the ark according to their species. And Noah built an altar to the Lord. He took of all the clean animals and of all the clean birds, and offered them in holocaust to the Lord on the altar. The Lord breathed a pleasant odor, and said in his heart, "From now on, I will no longer curse the ground because of man, because the thoughts of his heart are evil from his youth, and I will no longer hurt every living creature, as I did. As long as the earth lasts, sowing and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night, will never cease." Genesis 9. God blessed Noah and his sons. "Be fruitful," he said to them, "multiply and fill the earth. You will be the object of fear and amazement to every animal on the earth, every bird in the sky, everything that creeps on the ground, and all the fish in the sea. They are delivered to you by hand. Everything that moves and lives will serve you as food. I give you all these, as I gave you the green grass. Only you shall not eat meat with its soul, with its blood. I will ask an account for your blood, for the sake of your souls, to every animal and to the man that kills his brother. I will ask an account for the soul of man. Everyone who sheds human blood will have his own blood shed by man, because God made man in his image. Be fruitful therefore and multiply, and spread over the earth abundantly." God also said to Noah and his sons, "I will make a covenant with you and with your descendants, as well as with all the living beings that are with you, the birds, the domestic animals, all the wild animals that are with you, from all those that came out of the ark to every animal of the earth. I make this covenant with you. No creature will be destroyed by the waters of the deluge, and the deluge will no longer devastate the earth." God said, "This is the sign of the covenant that I make with you and with all living creatures around you, for all generations to come. I set my bow in the clouds, that it may be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. When I cover the sky with clouds above the earth, my bow will appear in the clouds. And I will remember the covenant that I made with you and with every living being of every kind, and the waters will no longer cause a deluge to destroy every creature. When I see the bow in the clouds, I will remember the eternal covenant established between God and all living beings of every kind that are on the earth." Addressing Noah, God added, This is the sign of the covenant that I make between me and all the creatures that are on the earth. The sons of Noah who came out of the ark were Shem, Cam, and Japheth. Ham was the father of Canaan. These were the 3 sons of Noah. It is by them that the whole earth was populated. Noah, who was a farmer, planted a vineyard. Having drunk wine, he became drunk and appeared naked in the middle of his tent. Ham, the father of Canaan, seeing his father's nakedness, went out and told his brothers. But Shem and Japheth took a cloak, put it on their shoulders, and went to cover their father's nakedness, walking backwards, and did not see their father's nakedness, because their faces were turned away. When Noah awoke from his drunkenness, he learned what his youngest son had done to him. Cursed be Canaan, he said, let him be the last of his brother's slaves. And he added, blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan be his slave. May God enlarge Japheth, and let him dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan be his slave. Noah lived 350 years after the flood. The total duration of Noah's life was 950 years, and he died. Genesis 10. Behold the posterity of Noah's sons, Shem, Cam, and Japheth. These had children after the flood. Sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Mozak, and Tiras. Sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Riphat, and Togarmah. Sons of Javan, Elisa and Tarshish, Satin and Rodanim. From these came out of the scattered peoples in the islands of the nations, in their different countries, each according to his language and according to his families and his nations. Sons of Cam, Cush, Mesraim, Phut, and Canaan. Sons of Cush, Sheba, Havilah, Sabata, Regma, and Sabataka. Sons of Regma, Sheba, and Dedan. Cush begot Nimrod, who was the first mighty man on earth. He was a great hunter before the Lord. Hence the expression, like Nimrod, a great hunter before the Eternal. He established his kingdom first in Babylon, Erech, Akkad, and Calane, in the land of Shinar. From there he went to Assur and built Nineveh, Rehoboth-ir, Cael, and Rezin, the great city between Nineveh and Cael. Mesraim begot the Ludim, the Anamim, the Lahabim, the Nephtuim, the Phetrusim, the Casluim, and the Caphtorim, from which the Philistines came. Canaan begot Sidon, his firstborn, and Hate, as well as the Jebusites, the Amorites, the Girgashites, the Hivites, the Arasiums, the Sinites, the Aradius, the Samarites, and the Hamathites. Then the families of the Canaanites dispersed. And the territory of the Canaanites was from Sidon, in the direction of Gerar, to Gaza, and towards Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, and Seboim, as far as Lisa. These are the sons of Cam according to their families, their languages, in their different countries and their nations. Children were also born to Shem, the father of all the children of Eber, and the elder brother of Japheth. Sons of Shem, Elam, Ashur, Arphaxad, Lud, and Aram. Sons of Aram, Hus, Hul, Geter, and Mes. Arphaxad spawned Salah, Salah spawned Eber. Heber had 2 sons, one was named Peleg, because in his time the earth was divided, and the other was named Jecton, Jectin begot Elmodad, Saleph, Asarmut, Jair, Aduram, Uzal, Dekla, Ebal, Abimael, Sheba, Ophir, Hevelah, and Jobab. These are the sons of Jedin. The land they inhabited extended from Mesa in the direction of Sephar to the mountain of the east. These are the sons of Shem, according to their families, according to their languages, in their different countries and their nations. Such are the families of the sons of Noah, according to their generations and their nations. It is from them that descended the nations that spread over the earth after the flood.